Hi everybody. So today's video is going to be about basically the problem of food, fat, dieting, weight set points, and all kinds of other things that will make eating disordered people's blood boil. So, one of the greatest problems or challenges for people with eating disorders, and actually not just people with eating disorders, people who are trying to diet, to lose weight, to find a kind of healthy lifestyle, is that food is actually really, really enjoyable. It tastes so good. And I think many people with eating disorders will try to kind of deny this fact, or to kind of say that they don't really find food enjoyable, or no, I don't like food at all, actually. Kind of smugly feeling really self-righteous about the fact that you don't need food like everyone else does, as if. But yeah, so food has been used historically for more than just nourishment. It's been used as a way to celebrate social occasions, as a way to express love and affection, and as a way to sort of join people together in a social union. So food isn't just like necessary for life. We don't just need it. We like it, we love it. We use it for all kinds of recreational, social and emotional reasons. And we're programmed from birth to want food, crying as a child, as a baby. It's because it's one of our instincts. We need food, especially energy-rich food, or kind of like bad foods, if you like. So it's an inbuilt human desire, and it's one of the body's sort of key survival mechanisms. And the terrible pain caused by hunger and like food denial, serves as a deterrent from people starving themselves, basically. And just as people are born with a sex drive to help propagate the species, people are born with hunger to prolong our lives, so that we might survive, procreate, and continue the circle of life, basically. But sadly, in the Western world, for the first time in history almost, thinness is actually prized more greatly than plumpness. And our culture, these days in this Western world, has rendered the old sort of normal weight sort of the new overweight. And it's no longer acceptable to have a purely biological relationship with food. What you eat and how much of it, has become a kind of feature to be judged upon. You're ridiculed if it's too much, and you're envied and adored if you're somebody who can survive on not enough food. If you're eating too little, people will look to you with sort of admiration and bewilderment, because you're somebody apparently who can eat very little, look very, very skinny, and apparently still survive. So kudos to you in those people's eyes. The problem really is that not everybody can be stick thin naturally, and everybody has what's called a weight set point. Basically the weight that if you go to the dinner table hungry and you eat until you're full, until you're satisfied, then your body will be your weight set point, basically. So if you fill your alimentary needs in this fashion, you'll reach this weight set point, and the truth of the fact is that it's genetically predetermined, with very, very few exceptions. If your parents are fat, it's quite likely that you're going to be fat. If your parents are thin, you're going to be thin. So I know that people might not really believe in this, but studies have been shown and have proven this to be true. So, whether a person overeats or undereats, the body will adjust its metabolism accordingly to try to keep the body at its weight set point. And research has showed that fat people do not, on average, eat more than thin people. And studies that were conducted on thin people to try to make them fat showed that it cannot actually be done. You simply cannot make a genetically thin person fat. Amazing, really, I think. But it just goes to show that genetics have a massive part to play in what we are going to look like. But the problem is that society still insists that weight can and should be controlled, and that if you fail to lose weight, you don't have enough willpower or something, and that you will be shamed for this perceived downfall in your character. The dieting industry makes heaps of money by trying to sell us things or make us subscribe to things that are going to make us, closer and closer to this ideal of perfection and thinness. Products they try to sell that they claim will, make you thin and attractive if only you have the money or the willpower or the whatever to, see it through. But I think most of us know that is actual complete BS. But so many of us, and the media and society and the Western culture has made thinness into such such an ideal that most of us really can't achieve it unless we are naturally built that way, and it's really damaging. And dieting is incredibly damaging for the body, and anybody who attempts to crash diet, figures have shown this, will gain back more weight than they lost in the first place. So it just promotes this vicious cycle of weight loss versus increased weight gain, and the metabolism problems that go with that. So society is so intolerant of weight gain, and social groups are so prejudiced against fat people that it can make recovery from an eating disorder incredibly painful. I remember when I was recovering, the thought of actually having to gain weight when all I had prized for years and years on end, basically my whole life actually, was thinness and weight loss. It felt like, it was a massive sign of weakness in me, and culture, society, family, friends, a whole shebang of people actually made me feel sort of ashamed about wanting to gain weight. For not having the willpower to see through the sort of anorexic life, which is really, really sad, because it's a total delusion, a total fallacy, and ultimately that path would have led to death. In reality, I would say everybody's different, and we all need to learn to embrace kind of our inner selves and to kind of forget about our desire to look skinny, because those ideals are fueled and basically began in the heart of kind of advertising boardrooms and basically industries trying to make major money out of people's insecurities, by making us feel guilty for eating, and then they start selling us guilt-free foods. The whole industry is aimed at women's insecurities predominantly. It's pretty terrible actually, and I wish there was something we could do about it, but the fact of the matter is that people buy into it. People think that if they throw enough money at a problem that they can be whoever, whatever they want to be, physically, mentally, intellectually, socially, financially. But frankly, that's all just a delusion, and, it just creates needs that cannot actually be fulfilled healthily or maintainably. So, people have asked me to do a video on culture and sort of the media's contribution to sort of eating disorders, and if that's something you're interested in, please let me know, because that's something I might like to do. But I think the message of this video is that, so many of us feel the kind of society's disgust at fatness, and actually children as young as 5 in a survey said they would rather be disabled than fat. Fatness is so utterly, roundly, universally abhorred that, people of all ages, genders, races, whatever, fatness is not a good thing in people's eyes. But what I would say is that, you know, a healthy lifestyle, a person who exercises regularly, eats treats in moderation, has a roughly balanced diet, you know, is that person really going to be a fat person if you think about it? I would say no. I would say no, but never mind. Okay, right. So, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I also hope that you guys are enjoying following me on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. Please subscribe to me if you haven't already. It really does mean a lot to me, and I look forward to making you a new video. I've got some exciting news, as I said, coming very soon, so please stay tuned for that. And thank you all new subscribers. I really hope my videos aren't disappointing you. So yeah, thank you guys. I love you all. You're brilliant. You make my life. So cheerio. Bye.